Welcome to the How To Go To.
This curve.
Alright YouTubers, today we're going to be installing black diamond edging. This stuff is vinyl edging, and it's the highest quality that I know of vinyl edging that you can get. It's not quite as nice as the steel edging or the aluminum edging, but it's entry level stuff. It looks real nice and it's very high quality. Alright, so you're going to want to go and get your mulch and your edging from a garden supply store. Now, I'm not sure if Home Depot carries this edging. I'm pretty sure they don't have mulch by the yard. It's usually by the bag. You save a lot of time ordering your mulch by the yard. And it's a lot easier on you because you're not lifting those heavy bags. You get yourself a wheelbarrow and you just, you get a shovel, pickup. If you don't have a pickup, the beauty is you can just have this stuff delivered. Even if you do have a pickup, it's probably better to get, if you have any more than 3-4 yards, just get this stuff delivered. My truck with the toolbox, I can hold like 2 yards, but I can only go on side streets because it's a mountain on the back of my truck. Right here I'm only getting 1 yard, and I'm gonna have to come back and get 2 more. So walking back here into the back of this garden supply, they do a ton of work. They do snow plowing and whatever. That's beside the point. But what I'm going to show you is the edging. I'm helping the guy carry it right now. And this stuff is like, I don't know, 15 feet long or something like that. And it's all continuous one piece. So you get a long stretch of edging all in one piece where you don't have to worry about a lot of seams or anything. Now in this video, I'm going to be covering how to conjoin 2 of these pieces together and create basically a seamless appearance that won't come apart. I see a lot of professionals install this stuff and it starts to spread apart, and it's because they didn't install it right. And I'm going to be showing you some techniques that they don't use, and even if you hire this out, if you have someone come out and do it, you should come out there and watch them and say, hey, I want to make sure you guys install these seams right, because I don't want this stuff coming apart. I cut lawns, and so many, 90% of my lawns that have black diamond edging, the edging is really high quality, but the installation has like a few little flaws where it's coming apart, or like, in my video, I'm always using a sawzall, but on this job, I'm actually using a sawzall to cut the roots. Anytime there's roots, I'll cut them and install my edging. Now if you got a live tree, you're not going to want to cut the roots in a live tree, if you're trying to keep the tree alive. So if you are putting this edging around a live tree, you're going to trim the edging. Like, you're going to take that long piece and you'll cut the black out of it. You'll cut the black part that goes down to the ground. You'll cut it off of that part where there's roots on the live tree that you want to keep. Cut the plastic instead of the roots, and have the plastic go around the roots. That way you're not going to damage the tree. You don't want to cut the roots of a live tree. If anything, like when I had my saw just there a second ago, I was cutting dead roots out of the way. So you'll see me pulling like this plastic out of the ground, and that brings up a topic of, should you use a weed barrier? So first and foremost, never use plastic. It's terrible. It doesn't work well. It's bad for the ground because air doesn't flow. And then it still tears up and gets rocks, or gets holes in it, and your rocks or whatever you put on top of it end up going through and mixing with the dirt, and you can't ever get the rocks out of the dirt, whatever. So don't use plastic. Don't use garbage bags and stuff like that. They get brittle, and then they get brittle, but then they never break down. Wow, they just get holes and gets torn up, and it becomes part of the soil, and it's not good for the environment. So what you want to do is use the proper weed barrier.
Okay, YouTubers, this is how you make a good circle. So this is not going to be a perfect circle, but I'm laying it out now, getting it set how I want it, nice and round, not all oval shaped or whatever. draw a line in the dirt.
and traced around it with the shovel, drawing an outline in the dirt. Now this worked for me because I didn't have grass here, I just had dirt. So, I just drew my line, moved my piece out the way, and then I just dug my hole. So, anyway, back to what I was saying about the weed barriers. Um, if you do use a weed barrier, you're going to want to use the proper weed barrier. You don't want to use plastic or garbage bags. And
Okay.
Now, me personally, for this project, I did not use a weed barrier because with mulch, I don't think it's really necessary. The soil breathes better without it, and mulch can mix with dirt, and eventually mulch will just break down and become part of the soil and actually nourish the soil. Whereas rocks, on the other hand, they don't nourish soil, they just take up space. And once a ton of rocks gets mixed into your soil, you cannot get it out, and it just becomes rocky dirt. It's just a mess. So if you use rocks, I would recommend using like double a weed barrier, and that way nothing's gonna pop up, and your rocks won't mix with your dirt. And when you do get ready to change out the rocks, or if you ever have to get rid of the rocks, the weed barrier will actually roll up. You'll be able to scoop the rocks off of the weed barrier, and you'll be able to roll up whatever rocks are left. Now, weed barriers are great and they last 30 years and all this craziness. But what do you think is going to happen in 30 years to a weed barrier? Dirt's going to form on top of it, and weeds are going to just grow on top of it. So the weed barrier, even though it says 30 years, it's not perfect and it doesn't really last 30 years. You may get 10 years out of it, and then after that, it has to come out. Now, I'm going to show you guys the most important part of this video, and that is joining two pieces of black diamond together. What you do is you trim it a certain way. As you see the piece laying in the trench here with the cut on it, I cut the top part of that piece off. I'm cutting this piece here and I'm leaving a little bit of that plastic. I'm leaving it a little longer there for a reason. That way when I drive the stake through, it'll have something to catch. I'm just trimming off everything so it can slide together close and not have a gap. Now, this piece used to be attached there. Now what I'm doing is I'm trimming the inside of it off so that I can fold this piece up and slide it inside of that hole on the other end. And I'll slide both of these together and it will join them, because sliding this inside of it and it'll make a seamless connection. Now they give you a piece that you can do this with, we slide it in, but it is not that great.
Give you this here. This is not as nice as using this. Put the seam away.
I just showed you the piece that they give you. It's
the
a piece
seam
of
down
junk.
so it's out of sight.
Now you slide this in, right? Slide that in there, and now you take this piece, the other piece. Now you're sliding them together to put in one hole in the other. Okay, and I've trimmed that little bottom part off too, just so they don't interfere. There you see the emblem of what you're looking for. When you buy this stuff, it's called black diamond etching, or equivalent. I don't know what you find around the country here, but what you're gonna do is when you want to drive your stake through, right here and right here, and that's gonna make these two pieces become married together forever. Okay, that's the proper way to do it. I see so many professional companies that don't go through the training or whatever and tell the people that have working for them what to do, how to do it properly. Now right here you'll see me mulching into the night, gotta get it done. So I ended up going to the garden supply, getting another 2 yards, a total of 3 yards for this area. And here's how the final product looks. It turned out real good. I got my seating, in front of the edging there with some bare spots where I'm trying to get grass to grow, got everything installed. Worked out real good, turned out nice. And there you have it. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. I really appreciate it.